Okay, find a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. I'm up on a blanket, as is my as is my pattern, but you might have some other seated position that feels good to you, and that's fine. And then we'll take the heels of the hands into the upper thighs, a little press down, lean forward. Just realizing how crooked we are here. There we go. Little press down, lean forward as we start to really land in the body. So trying to get out of the head and into the body. Easier said than done sometimes, but sometimes touching the body and being aware of the connection of the hands on whatever body part you're touching can be really useful. Yeah. And then let's go a little side to side. So pressing into one hand, will you lean away? You turn to look over that shoulder, back through center, over to the other side. Getting a little left and right action here. Oh, it feels good to kind of wring out the body a bit. Gorgeous. And then coming back to neutral a couple of times, running the heels of the hands from the hips towards the knees, lengthening the thighs, lengthening the musculature, massaging a little bit, always feels good. And then hands to the lower ribs, right? You find the line of the diaphragm, and then from there we lift up, almost as if you were going to pick yourself up out of the bowl of the hips. And then without momentum, it's just muscular, turning a little from left to right, seeing what's available to you. What is available? What is freely given here as you go side to side? Nice. And then coming back to neutral, let's inhale the arms up in a wide V, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. And then if it feels comfortable, lift the chin. And then think of moving forward from the center of the sternum. So the shoulder blades will come towards each other as a result of moving the sternum forward. Nice. Take another deep inhale. Reach through all 10 fingernails. And then as you exhale, float the hands down to land on the lap. Bring the chin parallel to the floor and close the eyes. Go inside. Allow yourself to land here, now. Begin to interest yourself with the physicality of your body. So how is everything set up so far? Do you feel balanced? Do you feel even? Does anything need to shift? And sometimes that might mean you need to lean a little side to side, front to back, maybe even taking the torso around in a little circle like we sometimes do, just to find where you need to be in space, right? That little exploration is always useful, bears good fruit, we could say. Then once you feel settled in your seated position, descend the tailbone straight towards the center of the earth. At the same time, lift from the base of the skull. Then let the belly button move back towards the spine. You'll feel yourself lean back slightly. That just makes the tailbone even more heavy. And then find the connection pubic bone belly button. It's not that we're trying to take the tailbone forward. We're just trying to firm up that lower abdominal wall. And then letting the arm bones hang heavy from the shoulder sockets. We're lifting and spreading the collarbones. And then relax the throat. Soften the back of the neck. If we go through our head movements, that might be useful. So dipping one ear towards one shoulder, other ear towards other shoulder. Especially if you're coming from slumber, sometimes there's that residual tightness there. Or if you've been spending a lot of time on devices, sometimes there's tightness from that. Dipping side to side. Nice. Head back to neutral now. Drop the chin towards the chest. Stretch the back of the neck. Then lift the chin up towards the sky. Going back and forth. When you lift the chin up towards the sky, imagine the base of the skull going up and over an invisible grapefruit. Right? So you're finding that kind of up and over. Beautiful. And then coming back to neutral once more. Last set of actions here, turning the head from left to right like an owl. Chin stays parallel to the floor. And you just see how far can you go without pain, without strain? What is available? Nice. And then taking the head back to neutral. Ha. Now we can relax the jaw, the teeth, the tongue. Balancing the skull on top of the spine. Softening the base of the skull. Relaxing the cheekbones. Can you soften the eyes in their sockets? Nice. And then go to the space between the eyebrows. That furrow may have become deeper. Spread your eyebrows apart from each other. As a matter of fact, let's do the surprised faced closed eyes action where you keep the eyes closed, but you open your eyes without opening them, right? So you organize your face as if someone said something very surprising and delightful, and you're just like, what? That's amazing. You got a puppy, right? Or whatever it is, right? So the eyes open without opening. So you stretch the eyebrows up, 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 up. And then exhale, relax, and don't be surprised if your face doesn't go back to where it was. That's a good thing. You've just built some space in your face. And then allow the forehead to soften. Relax the skin at the temples and release any tension from the inner ears. And then from here, we breathe. We notice that we're breathing. And then we let that breathing absorb us, absorb our attention. We bring all of our awareness to the next inhalation. Let go of everything else. Let go of whatever was occupying your mind up until this point. Just drop it for now. Give yourself space to not do anything but breathe. Long, full, steady inhalations, complete, full exhalations. And I think this morning would be a fabulous morning to do Brahmari pranayam, the bumblebee breath, as we might even see some bumblebees soon. Maybe you are down there in Massachusetts, so maybe we could call some of them to us by making their noise. So we'll do 3 rounds of the Brahmari pranayam, the bumblebee breath. If you'll remember, it's a soft, silky inhalation through the nose, and then it's an exhale while making a low humming noise with closed lips, so you sound like a bumblebee. We'll do 3 rounds together. Let's start by exhaling fully, letting go of all the breath you currently have, and then inhaling fully to begin. Take a moment after your 3rd Brahmari pranayam. Notice the residue. Notice what's left behind. And then taking the hands together in front of the heart, palm against palm, fingers elongated, lift the sternum to the base of the thumbs, broaden the collarbones. Now to chant the sound of Om 3 times and then our invocation. Exhale fully, inhale fully. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, release the hands to the lap. Let the chin come towards the chest. On your next inhale, you can start to flutter the eyelids open, taking in form and space and color. And then let's help the knees up and extend the legs, ironing the legs out from root to shoot, getting in contact with our physical structure. So important. Maybe a little forward bend starts to come. That could be a nice way to work. Hello, Mr. Chio. You'll get your chance. Oh, it feels good to touch the body. And then hands behind beside, lift and spread the collarbones. If your mood has been down or challenging lately, lift the gaze as well. And then point and flex the feet. Point and flex the feet. Getting into the legs. Notice, how does it feel? Be with the sensations. Be with your body. Deep inhales, full exhales. Then coming to the center of the heel now, invert the foot. Inner edge forward, outer edge forward. Can you keep them parallel? Nice. Back to neutral now. Squeeze and release the toes. Squeeze and release the toes. Yes. And then let's do our toe exercises. Big toe up, 4 toes down. Big toe forward, 4 toes back. Going back and forth. And then can you alternate? Something for the brain to focus on. Soften the jaw. Beautiful. And then releasing that, take your legs a little wider, hands to the upper thighs, relax your legs entirely, and use your hands, heels of the hands at the very top of the femur bone to rock the legs in and out. Very loose here, getting into the hip socket. Sometimes it feels good to walk the heel of the hand down the leg. You can get a little massage on that line, that outer line of the thigh. A lot of tightness sometimes creeps in there. Gorgeous. And then bending the knees, bringing the feet to the floor. Now we get the knees to go side to side. This is as big or as small as feels good to you, right? It might be very small. You might not be bringing the knees all the way to the floor. It doesn't matter. We're just getting a little looseness into the hips, into the low back. And then we're keeping it fairly classical this morning. Let's take our chest opener over blanket and block. You know it, you love it. I feel like it's probably one of the best poses to do, especially first thing in the morning. Getting some space into that thoracic spine. Flat block for the head, long edges of the block parallel to the long edges of the mat. Bringing the bottom tip of the shoulder blade down onto that blanket, head onto the block. Do any sorting out that feels necessary before you settle in. So there might be little bits of housekeeping, I like to call it, as you move yourself around, kind of neatening your perceptions around your space. And then arms are at a T shape. You're deciding if the low back is keen on you straightening the legs or not. So if you try it and the low back protests, then you just bend the knees again. Big toes move towards each other, knees move towards each other. But if you extend the legs and you're like, oh, actually, that feels pretty good today, then you stay there, reaching through the inner heels, turning the big toes slightly towards each other. Everyone draws pubic bone towards belly button, whether the knees are straightened or not. Everyone turns the lower frontal ribs down towards the floor. And then you can either leave the arms out in a T shape, and this is good to do if your shoulders are feeling irritated, aggravated, or you can lift the arms up towards the sky, Take opposite hand to opposite forearm, like I dream of Jeannie, and then either take the forearms over the crown of the head or to the forehead. Now, we have to keep the lower frontal ribs moving down and the chin moving towards the chest. So what tends to happen is that the lower frontal ribs lift and the chin lifts, and you get in this kind of cattywampus sort of situation where everything's a little off balance. And then take some deep, full breaths into the rib cage, the upper lobes of the lungs, into the armpit chest. Right? Opening the armpits is a surefire way to boost your mood regardless of what's going on. Navel moving down towards the earth, pubic bone still moving towards the belly button. If the legs are extended, you're reaching through the inner heels and gently rolling the inner thighs towards the floor. Maybe you take your head a little micro movement from side to side. It's super tiny. I might not even be able to see it externally. Then bringing the head back to neutral. If it's straight, make a mental note which forearm is on top. Then as you inhale, reach the arms behind you. Palms of the hands are facing each other. Then as you exhale, you switch sides, folding the arms again, opposite forearm on top. Breathing here. Hi, Tommy. Nice full inhalations, complete exhalations. Hi, sweetheart. Or just check all the landscapes, pubic bone to belly button, lower frontal ribs down, chin towards chest. Another 2 breaths. And then exhale, arms come out in a T shape. Everyone bends the knees, taking the feet wide. Let's let the knees and the head go slowly in opposition. Take your time here. And if there's anything interesting along the way as you go from side to side, you might end up lingering. And then if there's something else you need from this pose, go ahead and do it. Nobody's a beginner. You can always figure out, oh, what do you need? Do you need that upper back massage? I know I do. I taught 4 hours straight in front of the computer yesterday, and maybe you worked in front of a computer all day, right? And so if that's the case, or maybe you're running after grandkids, whatever it is, your upper back probably would benefit from a little massage. I don't know anyone who wouldn't benefit from a little massage. Right? If you're still fogging up a mirror, you could probably use a little body work. All right, as you feel ready, roll to one side. Use the hands to help you up. We're going to switch our setup for Supta Padangusthasana. Again, we're keeping it fairly classical this morning. So I'm taking a blanket for the head. I've got my strap and my block nearby, ready to go. And then I'm coming back to lay down. Oh, now with nothing underneath the upper back, it's interesting, and maybe you experience this too. There's this sense of spaciousness kind of baked into the upper back now. I don't have to do much, and I feel that expansion, right? There's almost like the absence of the blanket has created space. Even though my upper back is firmly on the floor, I still feel that residue from the rolled blanket. Now, feet are hips distance apart. Let's relax the arms down on the floor. We'll do a little bit more for the neck and shoulders here. Take the head from side to side. Back of the head is very heavy. We're not lifting it as we move it. We're letting it roll as far as it will from side to side. So it's similar to some things we were doing earlier in class. It's just now we're kind of hitting it from a different angle. Then next time the head moves to the left, pause, plant the back of the right hand down on the floor, firm the muscles to the bone. You'll feel the elbow lift off the floor, perhaps. I want you to roll the shoulder back and down towards the earth. And then it's not going to be a big movement, but you're going to think of sliding that right hand away. It's like a 0.5 centimeter. All it does is take up any last bits of slack in the arm. And then you can move the head, sliding it on the blanket to any angle that gives you the stretch in the cervical spine or the shoulder that feels useful. Now, if you're feeling the stretch all the way down to your fingertips, that's not unusual. right? That absolutely can happen. You're stretching all of those channels. Take another deep breath here. And then as you exhale, relax and let everything come back to neutral. Pause here. Take a moment to observe right side, left side. Maybe it feels like one arm is heavier than the other or lower than the other. And then let's do the second side. So head starts to turn towards the right. Once it's there, then we flatten the back of the entire left hand into the earth. All 5 fingernails are pressing into the ground. You hug the muscles to the bone, and in most people, that means that most of the arm actually lifts off the floor. Then you're rolling the shoulder back towards the earth. Then you slide it away. And again, if you've done all those other actions, the slide away is really very tiny. Then once that tension, once that kind of dynamic stretch is built in, then you can carefully, slowly change the angle of the head until you find just the right stretch. And it's a hard thing to describe to you out loud, so you have to kind of play around with it because there are so many different ways, different angles, different little, really centimeter adjustments that can make a difference here. Another full inhale, complete exhale. Nice. And then soften, let everything come back to neutral. The head comes back to center. You take a few soft, slow breaths here and observe. Gorgeous. From here on an exhalation, draw that right knee into the chest, holding on either over the shin or behind the thigh. Shoulder blades move back down into the earth. And then when you feel ready, you're going to extend the left leg onto the floor. So here we are in wind relieving pose. Nice. Back of the neck is long. Notice how quickly it shortens, right? Often when we're stretching the hamstrings, the chin and the back of the neck get involved. I know, very strange. Now listen carefully. You're going to hold onto the right knee with the right hand. Let the left arm move out to the left. Inhale here. Then as you exhale, you're going to guide this right knee out to the right as far as it goes without making the left side of the body light. Then we're breathing into the inner groin, inner thigh. Shoulder blades pressing gently down into the earth beneath you. Left leg pressing down into the earth beneath you. Right foot lightly flexed. Nice. It's a big inner groin, inner thigh stretch. Beautiful. And then take an inhale here. And as you exhale, I want you to pass this right knee to the left hand. Right arm reaches out to the side. Back of the hand is on the earth. And then start to draw this right knee over to the left. And now you can roll onto the outer left leg, outer left foot. If you want to turn to look out over your right arm, that can be really nice. The more you hug the knee in towards the chest, the less the low back gets involved, right? So holding the knee closer is sacrum protective. Take another breath here. And then as you exhale, roll slowly back down onto the back body. Put the right foot on the floor, bend the left knee, put the left foot on the floor. Pause here. Long, steady inhalation. Complete exhalation. And then let's do that much to the second side. So drawing the left knee into the chest. Again, your knee tells you where to hold. It's either over the shin or behind the thigh. Then as you feel ready, extending that right leg onto the earth. Here we are, wind relieving pose. Then right arm out to the right, left hand holding on to that left knee, lightly flex the foot and guide the left knee off to the left any amount. For now, right side of the body stays very heavy, stays right where it is. Breathing into the inner left groin, the inner left thigh. Pressing the back of the right leg down. That'll help you keep the back of the neck long. right? This whole sequence, just a little preparatory work for our Supta Padangusthasana series. Nice. Inhale. Then as you exhale, pass this left knee to the right hand, left arm reaching out to the left. And then as you feel ready, you draw that left knee all the way over to the right. Now, you can let the thigh drift away from the chest if that feels okay in your low back. In some bodies, that's going to feel very good. Others, it's going to feel like it's shearing the sacroiliac joint. And in those cases, you take the thigh as close to the chest as you can get it, and that's going to help to keep you out of that. If the gaze wants to drift over the left arm, go for it. Nice full inhales, complete exhales. Nice. Then inhaling, coming back to neutral, exhaling, putting that left foot on the floor, bending the right knee, putting the right foot on the floor, pausing to notice action, reflection. And then it'll feel satisfying now to do the full Supta Padangusthasana. So I'm taking a flat block at the outer right hip. I've got my strap ready to go. Bending the right knee towards the chest, strap over the ball of the foot. Now extending the leg, yawning the back of the knee open. It feels delicious this morning. Elbows out to the sides of the room. Back of the neck is long. Can you drop the back of that right hip directly into the earth beneath you? And then we're ready. Go ahead, extend that left leg onto the earth. Move it to the left 2 inches, right? We've rehearsed. Before you go anywhere though, both straps into the left hand, take the right hand and press the top of the right thigh away. Really prioritize opening the back of that knee socket. Yes, or knee pit. I don't know what to call it. Then both straps into the right hand, left arm reaches out to the left. Inhale to get long. Exhale, take this right leg out and down to the right. Plug the upper right arm bone into the shoulder socket and then move your tailbone towards that inner left heel. Nice. Pubic bone to belly button, chin to chest, and then roll your lower abdomen towards your inner right thigh, your upper abdomen towards your outer left ribs. Pressing the back of the left leg firmly down, down, down. Taking a few breaths here. One more inhale here. Then as you exhale, we're bringing this leg back up to center. Listen carefully. You're going to move your block over to the left and put it on its tall aspect where you think your leg is going to end up, because we're going to do the full variation of Supta Padangusthasana 3. So I've got the block ready. I think it's where I need it. I'm holding onto the strap with my left hand. Right arm's reaching out to the right, back of the hand is there. We inhale to get long. Then as we exhale, we let this right leg go all the way over to the left. If we're lucky, we get the block. If not, we adjust. That's okay. Now, a little bit about that right shoulder. If the right shoulder is not comfortably still grounded onto the floor, you're going to bend the right elbow and bring the right hand to the rib cage. Your gaze is going to stay straight up towards the sky. If your right shoulder is firmly grounded, the arm extended, then you could turn your head to look out over that arm. Gorgeous. Draw the navel slightly towards the spine. Press that outer left leg down into the floor. Nice full breath here. You're doing beautifully. One more inhale, and then as we exhale, we bring the leg back up to center. Spread the straps out between both hands, then take the leg a little towards you, a little away, little towards you, little away. Then exhale, release the leg onto the floor. Both legs on the floor, both legs extended. Rest the elbows on the earth, hands on the lower frontal ribs, and just take a few soft, gentle breaths here. Long inhalations, complete exhalations. And then let's do all of that on the second side. So we take the flat block to the outer left hip. We bend both knees. Right foot comes to the floor. Left knee comes towards the chest. Strap goes over the ball of the foot. And we lengthen towards the sky. Ha. It's a different leg. Notice what it needs. Yawning open the back of the knee. Dropping the back of the hip into the earth. And then extending that right leg onto the floor, moving it to the right 2 inches, giving yourself a little space for your pelvis. Nice full inhalation, complete exhalation. And then both straps in the right hand, left hand to the top of that left thigh. Push the thigh away. Really open up the back of the leg. You're drawing that left foot towards you any amount. And then both straps into the left hand. Right arm reaches out to the right. Palm of the hand is down. Inhale to lengthen the left leg. Exhale, take it out and down to the left. Beautiful. Immediately move your tailbone towards the inner right heel. Plug the upper left arm bone into the shoulder socket. Lower abdomen rolls to the inner left thigh. Upper abdomen rolls to the outer right ribs, right? So even this pose, this version of it is a twist. And then how is it in the back of the neck? What happens if you press the back of the right leg down? Can you rediscover the length there? Breathing, breathing. Nice. On your next exhalation, let's take this left leg back up to neutral. We have to move our block, tall block, where we think the foot's going to land. We have to kind of judge what's going to happen. And then both straps in the right hand, left arm reaches out to the left, back of the hand is down. Inhale for length, exhale to take it all the way over, right? So that inner left ankle or inner left foot lands on the block. We're rolling the outer left hip away from the rib cage. Again, if that left shoulder isn't grounded on the earth, just bend the elbow and put the hand on the lower ribs. Otherwise, the arm is out to the side. You could turn to look. Pressing the outer right leg down into the earth. Breathing here. Navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button. Right? Even here, that action is useful. It's supportive. Take another breath. And then as you feel ready, on your next exhalation, coming back up, strap in both hands, take the leg a little towards you, little away, little towards you, little away. Then exhale, release the leg on the floor. Both hands now on the lower frontal ribs. Take a few soft, quiet breaths with observation. How is it? Beautiful. From here, bending the knees, taking the feet to the edges of the yoga mat, and then bringing the hands behind the back of the head, interlacing the fingers behind the skull. If you have any neck pain this morning, one of the things I like to do is I like to lengthen my thumbs down the back of my neck on either side. It just kind of makes a little cradle and helps you so you don't crank the neck. We're going in with an undulation pattern with a little variation here. We're going to start simple and familiar. So as you inhale, you roll the tailbone towards the earth. You let the head slide in the hands as you lift the chin towards the sky and look over the eyebrows. Then as you exhale, you roll the tailbone towards the sky, peel the upper torso off the floor, and wrap the elbows in towards the sides of the head. Then as you inhale, tailbone down, chin lifts, you look over the eyebrows. Exhale, curl it up, elbows hug in, navel to spine. Right? So you're going back and forth at your pace, only doing as much or as little as feels good to you. You might be just doing this in a tiny action, and that's fine. Right? This might be very small. Others, you're getting the entirety of the shoulder blades off the earth. Right? Crunching up nice and high, but go with your breath. Trying to keep the navel moving down, down, down. We don't want the belly to cone out towards the sky. We're trying to tame those muscles down and back, right? Going for that support. Nice. Another 2, 3, just like this. Gorgeous. And then come down and rest. Take a few breaths here. And then I want you to come to the balls of your feet. So your legs are wide, right? The balls of the feet are touching the edges of the mat. And then we're going to go through our undulation series again, but this time we're going to lift the knees up to come to touch over the hips. And then as we come down, they'll go back wide. So it looks like this. We inhale, tilt the tailbone towards the floor, lift the chin. Then as we exhale and curl up, the knees come to squeeze together. Then as we inhale, we come back down to balance on the toes. The leg goes wide. And if I needed to, I could do one leg at a time if lifting both legs felt problematic, right? You can just lift one leg at a time. Otherwise, both legs together, squeeze the thighs together. Inhale to come down. Exhale, come up, squeeze the thighs together. Inhale, come down. You're going at your breath pace. And again, it might be as big or as small as feels good. Think about keeping that pubic bone moving towards the belly button, especially as the feet come back down to the earth. Open the elbows wide when you come down. Nice. Let's do a few more. Building our internal heat for these cool days of spring, although I think today is going to be fairly nice. But we had snow yesterday again up here. All right, 2 more. Last one. Nice. And then from here, I want you to stretch the legs out wide on the floor, stretch the arms out wide on the floor like a starfish. I almost said jellyfish. Maybe this is how jellyfishes stretch. What do I know? And then reach through the heels, reach through the fingertips, get really big, take up lots of space. Nice. And then bend the knees one at a time. Draw the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little rocking from side to side. And then hands on the bent knees, steer the knees around in a circle a few times in one direction, a few times in the other, massaging out any tension in the low back. You did so well. Nice. And then as you feel ready, roll all the way to one side, coming to table pose. I feel like cat and cow would feel tremendous after that abdominal work. So come on to all fours and do your cat cow. If you need padding underneath the knees, take it, but heels of the hands under the shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, stretch the tailbone up, stretch the chest up, lift the chin. Exhale, navel to spine, head and tailbone descend. So it's the same action we were just taking. Now it's just a little bit more freeing for the spine, a little less work for the abdomens, more of a stretch. Beautiful. And then let's take it side to side. So you come to a neutral spine. Inhale here. Exhale, wag the tail to the right. Turn to look over the right shoulder. Nice. Inhale through center. Exhale, second side. Back and forth. You got it. Nice. Coming back to neutral, let's take the pinky fingers wide. We're coming to Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward dog alternative. Tucking the toes under, push the floor away or come to your surface and plant your hands. Once you're up, wherever you are, arms are a little wider than shoulders distance, feet are at the edges of the mat or wider than the hips. Then you're pushing the floor away, lengthening the tailbone up, 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 yawning open the backs of the knees. Those in downward dog, really endeavor, press the heel of the thumb down, turn the inner elbows forward. Stretching everything out in symmetry. Can you breathe here? Right? That's always the question. Can you breathe in your pose? Nice. And then as you feel ready, it's Uttanasana, and it might be interesting to walk the hands towards the feet today. Feet can stay wide. Bring some space into our pose. Always useful in the spring when things feel so mired down. Let the head hang. Nice. And soften the knees, thumbs in the hip creases, draw the hips back, lengthen the front of the spine. Then inhale and come to standing. Well done. We made it to standing. I'm very proud of us. So find your strap. Find your strap, and we need to make a armpit, for most people, an armpit size loop in the strap. What does that mean? Well, it means that when you take your loop, oh, it's too short. When you take your loop and you put your fingers in it, right? So I've kind of curled my fingers in it. Then when I hold it across my chest, I can get my fingers in my armpits. I know, very elegant. But for most people, that's the right length. So when we do Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, you have just the right length of strap for between your hand and your foot. Now, of course, you can adjust this, but this is the general amount that most people need. All right, so we're working with Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So we were on the ground, we did our Supta Padangusthasana. Now we do the full version. So first step is to get grounded in the feet. So we might pick up and replace the feet a few times. I'm taking my strap into my right hand. We're going to have the left leg be the standing leg first. So take your left hand to your left hip, plant the left heel, stretch the toes forward. And then we're going to start to pick up that right knee. Now, if you needed to take your left hand to a wall to make balance a little bit easier, absolutely go for it. We come inside the knee, pick the left foot off the floor, and then the strap goes around the sole of the right foot. Navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button, stand up and out of that left leg. Really press the left foot into the floor. Nice. Then, as we feel ready, we can extend the right foot forward. If you start to fall, let go of the strap. That's an important safety tip that people forget about. You have to let go of the strap or the leg will take you down with it. Nice. Plug the upper right arm bone into the shoulder socket. Drop the outer right hip. Cut the outer left hip in. And then, are you breathing? All these things to remember. Nice. If all is going well, lift the left arm towards the sky, and then we can take the right arm out to the right and the left arm out to the left. The right leg has to go with it, right? So we're bringing it out to the side. Yes. Beautiful. Good job. And then bringing everything back to neutral. Arm goes up, leg comes center, and then exhale. Bend the right knee, slip the strap off the foot. Both feet come back down to the floor. And do yourself a little favor. Do a little walk around your space. Little walk around your space just to integrate. Just to integrate. I have the worst floor in all of the floors I've ever worked on for balance work because it's a very old house and our floor slants towards the front of the house. So we're on a pretty big grade here. So balance work, and it's carpet, right? So if you're dealing with things like that and you fell over, don't feel bad, right? Sometimes external circumstances make things a little more challenging. Let's do the second side, coming back to your space. That right foot now is our standing foot. So I like to dig the heel into the ground and then spread the toes wide as I plant it. Got my right hand on my right hip, strap in my left hand. I'm hugging the muscles to the bone. I'm trying to really lift up and out of that right hip. I'm going to bend the left knee, start to lift the left foot off the floor and find the foot with the strap. And then before I go anywhere, I find my Tadasana again, lifting through the crown of the head, navel back, pubic bone towards belly button. And then when I feel ready, I can extend the left foot forward. Now, finding something to gaze at is really helpful. Finding a firm gaze or a soft gaze on a firm spot, that can help you maintain your balance. Plug the upper left arm into the shoulder socket. Nice. And then if things are going well, you can lift the right arm up towards the sky. Nice. Inhale here. Then as you exhale, maybe you take that left leg to the left as you take the right arm out down to the right. Yes, stretch. Gorgeous. Then inhale back to center. Exhale, bend the knee, release the arm, come out. Take another little stride, a little strut around your room. Ooh, maybe you're feeling a little sassy now. Right? You just did something challenging. Even if you fell, you tried. That's more than most people. Come on now. Okay, we've got one more variation to attempt here. You're going to keep the strap in the left hand. And the left foot is still going to be the standing foot, I know. But we're going to pick up the right leg here in a second, and then we're going to twist the crossbody version, right? So the revolved version. Okay, so right hand on right hip, we're standing on that left foot. So alert that foot to the fact that it's going to be the support. Hug the muscles to the bone, lift up, up, up. Then, right, strap is in the left hand. We're bending the right knee and scooping up the right foot with the left strap. Gorgeous. Find your Tadasana. Come back. Beautiful. Then we're extending that right leg forward. Inhale the left arm up towards, or the right arm, sorry, up towards the sky. And then exhale, turn to the right. Yes, maybe you're lucky like me and you found a wall. Very helpful. Shoulder blades down the back, lift the crown of the head towards the sky. Left thigh moves back, back, back. Outer right hip drops. Gorgeous. Then inhaling, coming back to neutral. Exhale, bend the knee, release. Take another little walk around your room. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down as you do. Let go of any tension in the neck. Nice. Yes, we're doing challenging things to keep our brains in our bodies. All right, it's a neat little yoga trick. Get out of your head. Straps in the right hand. Right leg's the standing leg. We're going to work with the left leg now. So plant the right heel, spread the toes, stretch the sole of the foot. Left hand comes to the left hip for now. We peel the left foot off the floor and then we scoop it up with the right strap. Once the foot's in the strap, we come back to our Tadasana, navel to spine, lift through the crown of the head. Then, as you feel ready, extend that left leg forward. Beautiful. Plug the thigh bone into the hip socket. Nice. And then when you feel ready, inhale the left arm up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, you can turn to the left. Outer left hip dropping. Firm the muscles of the right leg. Lift through the crown of the head. Navel to spine, shoulder blades down. Breathe. Parvrita Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana. Easy for me to say. And then inhaling, coming back to neutral. Exhale, gracefully come out. Take a little walk around. And maybe in your walking, you find your two blocks. Time for something symmetrical and spacious. We've done enough twisting. Blocks on the floor. Legs are going to go wide. Line your heel bones up with the back edge of your mat for Prasarita Padottanasana. Right? If you were in class on Tuesday, Annie was talking about how we need to use the architecture of our space, the architecture of our mat to help us know where we are. And so heel bones lining up with that back edge, big toes turn slightly towards each other, press the outer edges of the feet, lift the kneecaps, roll the inner thighs, and then walk your blocks forward. Press the hands firmly. When I press the hands firmly, I get a little lift, right? So I'm not dropping. I'm trying to find that firmness as I draw the navel slightly towards the spine and reach the inner thighs. They spiral back, back, back. Breathing here. Nice. And then walking the blocks in. Let's set up for head down version. Maybe the head comes to the floor. Maybe you need to adjust the feet a little bit. Maybe you have blocks, stack of 2, right? What do you need to make this pose accessible? And then keep hugging the kneecaps up, 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 spiraling the inner thighs. Yes, draw the shoulders towards the back pockets as you lengthen the back of the neck. Full inhale, full exhale. And then from here, use the hands, come up halfway. Let's heel toe the feet back together. Then we can come down onto the mat to complete our cycle of inversion. You get to decide flat block, medium block, 2 flat blocks on top of each other, 2 tall blocks next to each other, side by each. What sounds useful? And then planting the feet, lift the hips, slide the blocker blocks underneath your pelvis. Beautiful. Elbows pressing to draw shoulder blades towards each other down the back. And then when you feel ready, exhale the knees in towards the chest. Inhale the feet up towards the sky. Keep rolling outer, upper arms down, down, down. Keep breathing. Observe the feet, observe the legs. Soften the jaw. Another 2, 3 breaths here. Just let it soak into the body. This being upside down is so beneficial. Then on your exhalation, bend the knees, slowly, slowly, bring the feet to the floor. Nice. Press the feet down, lift the hips, remove the blocks, roll down 1 vertebra at a time. And then just as a quick recovery, draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a little hug, a little rocking from side to side. Then we could also take the knees around in a circle. And then just before Shavasana, soles of the feet together, reach through, catch the ankles, draw the heels towards the pelvis, press the outer shoulder blades down into the earth, really yawning open the inner groin, the inner thigh. So good. You can also get a little bonus neck and shoulder stretch if you take the head a little side to side. Nice. Coming back to neutral, scoop the knees together, and then we're headed to Shavasana. So build some luxury into your Shavasana. Blanket for the head, socks for the feet, blanket on top of you. Maybe you even take a bolster or something on top of you. You could do your flat blocks underneath the backs of your thighs. That's a very nice way to work. Right? Whatever you need, take it now. And then once you're in your Shavasana pose, open the mouth as wide as you can, stick the tongue out as far as you can. Really think of stretching the jaw, the throat. Stretch, 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 stretch. Keep breathing. And then draw the tongue back into the mouth. Bring the lips back to touch, keep the teeth parted, and then let go yourself completely. Let loose yourself completely. Now there's nothing to do except for rest. Rest your body. Don't let the mind take off with you. Stay with the breath. Letting one strand of your awareness come back to hear my voice. Do a little inventory of the body and notice if you feel like moving. The answer might be no. And if you don't feel like moving and you have the time and space to remain where you are, then absolutely take that time, take that space, just be there. Others, you did your inventory and you realized you indeed were ready to move. And if that's you, I want you to start by bringing the breath a little more deeply into the body. So a little bit more of an inhalation, a little bit more of an exhalation. And then starting to move fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Mhm. And then when you feel ready, drawing the knees into the chest. One at a time, hugging the knees. Give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze. And then very slowly, mindfully, we can roll to the right side. Pausing there for a moment on the right side, just feeling the earth beneath us. Feeling that stability, that structure. And then use the hands to help yourself back up. Come to a sitting position if you're ready. You don't have to. And then descending the tailbone, lifting through the base of the skull, take the hands together in front of the heart. On an exhalation, let the chin move forward, let the chin move down, bowing to the seat of the soul. Bowing to that divine inner wellspring of kindness, compassion, patience, and joy. The light in me is deeply honored by your light, grateful for your practice, and humbled by your presence. And in case no one's told you yet today, I love you. And I'm convinced of your capacity to continue crafting a life worth living. Thank you so much for being here, friends. Namaste. Good job, everybody.